Hello, my darlings. How's everybody doing? It is Sunday. It's a little bit later than I normally do this, but I have been in Jenna's So You Want to Be an Author Tuber class all weekend, and it is amazing. Amazing. Now, I mean, excuse me, my nose is itchy, and I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I've been doing this YouTube channel for a couple of years now, and I mean, not that I thought that I knew everything, because I absolutely do not, but the stuff that I learned, like I didn't even know how to pop the chat out. Could have used that last weekend during sprints when I had that troll. Really could have used that, because all of my admins were off writing and stuff and didn't see it. It's an amazing course. And when she offers it again, if you have a YouTube channel or thinking about a YouTube channel, you need to take it. You just need to. There's so much to learn. And yeah, Kay is saying it's an amazing course. It really, really is. It really is. I can't say enough good things about it. But yeah, so it's been a few, and spring is finally here, I think, in Nova Scotia. We are seeing double-digit temperatures on a fairly consistent basis. So to me, that means, once again, the saga of trying to get my tires changed. Because every 6 months, it's me trying to get my tires changed, and it taking like 2 weeks, because like all the places around here where you can go and get your tires changed and an oil change done, they're like drive-through kind of thing, where you sit in a lineup, you pull your car in, they pull it up, 3 guys attack your car, and it takes half an hour to change the oil. And for me, that takes a half an hour, because my spare tires are not on rims. But people lose their ever-loving minds trying to get this done. They open at 7:30 in the morning, and if you are not there when they open, you're not getting in that day. So I'm going to try Wednesday morning, and if people are losing their minds, then I'm just going to wait until the fervor dies down, because I can't. I don't have the patience or the time to do that. Because now that I'm finally done my business plan, the skies open up, the angels sang, I am done my business plan. It was brutal, let me tell you. But it also very much brought home to me the absolute need for it. If you are trying to run an author business and you don't have a comprehensive business plan, you are setting yourself up to fail. It's just like your HB90. It's just like taking Publish and Thrive. It helps point you in the direction that you want to go. And it made me realize a lot of things about the coaching end of my business and how I want to see that run, that I didn't even think about when I started this process. So the business plan is done. It is with my business advisor. I'm sure he will come back and say, hey, maybe you should tweak this section, or maybe you should tweak that section. But it's also extremely necessary if you have the type of business where you're looking for funding, because nobody is even going to consider you, give you the time of day if you don't have a business plan. No lender will look at you. So I am going after a small, very small business loan, and that's mostly going to be for things like paid advertising and a few extra pieces of equipment that I feel like I could benefit from. But having said that, I am super excited, because Amber McHugh, who a lot of you know, gave me the advice that I should open up my cart for my newsletter subscribers early. So some of you may have already seen it. I opened up my cart for my newsletter subscribers on Saturday. And I'm excited because you guys get that price. If you're on my newsletter, you get that price. It's grandfathered in for life. Nobody else is going to get it, and nobody else is going to get those payment terms. Scroll and Scribe is going to be like a membership, monthly membership thing. So think Ream. Think the way Ream is set up. It was actually Ream that inspired the tiers that I am putting in place. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So y'all mark your calendars. Mark your calendars. Let me just bring my calendar up here because I am doing a live event on June the 15th. That's a Saturday. It is a day-long event. Okay. It is going to be a paid event. It's like $47. It's not, but I will be bringing in some of the team that's going to be part of Scroll and Scribe. And we're going to give you a little taste of what you would get inside of the accelerator. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're just going to have fun. I mean, you know me, if you can't have fun, then why bother doing it, right? So I'm super excited for that. There is a new link down here in the description, powerplaypress.com. I am replacing my link tree with that. That is my hub. So that is where you will go for links to my YouTube channels, my websites, because I have more than one. Things like my Ream is not up on there yet, but it will be come middle of the week. There'll be just everything. Mel's challenge is on there. That will directly link you out to the actual challenge. Okay, so good segue. So Mel's challenge is now going to be on the Scroll and Scribe channel because I want this channel to be about writing. So I want it to be about the live sprints. I want it to be about my books. I want to have this be a place where authors can come and just be authors. Okay, where my readers can come and find out about my books. Scroll and Scribe is my coaching channel. So that's where authors can go for coaching. So I've decided to move Mel's challenge over there because it's more of a coaching thing. But I decided, I've been calling this thing Mel's challenge, but all I'm really doing is saying, hey, come do this thing with me. So now I'm making it an actual challenge. There will be a new one hit that channel tomorrow, supper time-ish. I'm recording it tomorrow as I go out because, I like to record him in my car. We ran out of pumpkin for him. He's now 2 days without his pumpkin with his breakfast. He is unimpressed with me. So I have to go out and get more pumpkin. So I'll record it while I'm out running those errands. And there will be a link provided where you can go in. You can view the video there if you choose. And there's a form that you can fill out. You can come back once a week and fill it out for every challenge that I'm going to be doing. And at the end of the quarter, I will draw. So every time that you fill out the form, you get an entry to the draw, and I will draw for one of my journals. I just thought it'd be a little something fun, right? And that is worldwide. So for people that live in the UK, you're eligible. Don't think that it's just North America because that's no fun. So yeah, for sure. Keep your eye out for that tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So what's everybody drinking today? I've got my hot chocolate because it's 5 o'clock here and I haven't had supper yet. And I needed something sweet. So I decided some hot chocolate would be good. And yeah, Ziggy's not happy with me, Kay. Let me tell you something right now. Yeah, not a happy boy. He is so, like, he just didn't know what to do with himself. Yesterday morning when I put it down in front of him and there was no pumpkin, I ended up having to put a couple of treats in his food dish because he was so disgusted with me. Disgusted with me. Strawberry smoothie. Oh, that sounds good, Rita. Dr. Diet Pepper, 80 degrees in Detroit today. Holy moly, Sherry. That's the things we do for our kids. He's crazy. Heather's having a daily Gatorade. Okay, drinking some water because she had coffee. Yes, you definitely need more water there, hon. You've had a day. But yeah, so things are kind of plugging along pretty good. I am, like I said, this day-long virtual event. It will be done over Zoom. There will be 2 workshops, and then there will be a co-working thing where we work on the stuff, work some more on the stuff that was presented in the workshops, and then we'll be bringing people on for live coaching, which is going to be super, super fun. And then I don't know, if we have some time at the end of the day, I might set up breakout rooms if the partners can stick around, if my team can stick around, so that you could go in and kind of network and that sort of thing and ask some questions. Thank you so much, Angela. That is on the 15th of June, Rita. So I mean, it's a little ways off, but if you're on my newsletter, you'll be kept abreast of that. And of course, my social media, most of my stuff goes up on Facebook because my Instagram is more personal than business. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think that, and it's going to be done every quarter. So one of the ways that Scroll and Scribe is going to work is that membership will only be open for a couple of weeks at the end of each quarter. But the memberships are a year-long membership if you choose. But I'll be bringing in new cohorts every quarter, and every quarter will begin with one of these live day-long events, because I just think it's just a lot of fun. Amber McHugh, again, who's been integral to me figuring out how to do this. I'm kind of styling it after the way she does Planathon every year. And then that's kind of like a kickoff to Modern CEO. So keeping with that model, there will be a prize given away at the end of the live event for those that attend live of a year's subscription to Scroll and Scribe. So another reason to be there. It's just going to be amazing. I'm still working out some kinks as far as the offer, like what everybody is going to get at the different tiers and stuff, but it's going to be good. It's going to be well worth your money. That's for sure. Because we were having a conversation about this, some of us, over the last week or so, about charging what we're worth. It's so hard. It's so hard. And I mean, I think a lot of you here in the chat, you know what that feels like. It's like when you have to figure out how much to charge for your book. And it's like, well, maybe I should just make it 99 cents. But that cheapens all of the work that you put in. That cheapens all of the work that you've done to enhance your craft. That cheapens your education. That cheapens the amount of money you spent to get it out to people, right? And there's that whole thing of you get what you pay for. And this is kind of why, well, I was making it a monthly thing with different tiers to make it as accessible to everybody as possible, right? And because some people aren't just going to want the full meal deal, it's just going to be too much for them. It's going to be too much of a time commitment for them. You know, maybe they only really want the weekly workshops, you know, the weekly co-working workshops, you know, and maybe they might want a one-off coaching session with me or something like that. But maybe they also want access to the partners. Maybe they want, you know, big quarterly events that they can attend. And, you know, so it's like Kay said, the product will speak for itself. That's what I'm trying to do. I've been doing the coaching thing for a lot longer than I've been a published author. For those of you who don't know, I moved home when my father got sick, when he was diagnosed with Parkinson's and dementia. And that was about 6 years ago. And I left behind a life in another province where I had a successful coaching business. People were paying me thousands of dollars to personally coach them. And it wasn't even niche down like the way it is now, where I work mostly with authors with full-time jobs or responsibilities. These were people that were hiring me to help them sort their lives for them. And I put a lot of work into getting that education. And I think that as creatives, we're told a lot that, well, you shouldn't charge for your creativity. I know a lot of artists hear this, that they shouldn't charge for their art. We all have bills to pay. We all have bills to pay, right? And I think that it would cheapen how hard we work as creatives to not charge for our books, not charge what they're worth, you know. And I didn't intend to get up on this soapbox today, but having said that, charge for what you're worth. And you are worth more than 99 cents for your book. Hey, but if that's part of your marketing plan where it's like the first in a series and you're charging 99 cents, but you're charging $6.99 for each ebook after that, then that's different. That's a marketing strategy. I'm talking about what you feel in here when you're setting your pricing. When you feel like I'm not worth more than 99 cents for my book, listen again, honey, that's not your voice. That's, you know, I went through that. When I first published my first book, I went through that. I was going to make a Monte. I was going to make it 99 cents and just leave it there, right? Okay, this is yeah. Compound that with being a woman or female presenting and not being good enough, right? We are just as qualified as our male counterparts. Absolutely. And you know, no shade to the guys that are here or watching on the replay. No shade to you, because you're creatives too, or you wouldn't be here. But it comes down to that, doesn't it? It comes down to the whole not feeling good enough. And the voice in your head is, yeah, I didn't think you meant any shade by that, Kay. I don't. But that voice in your head, it's not your voice. You guys have heard this from me before. That's not your voice. Listen again, and then tell it to go take a hike, because you're worth it. You're worth it. But, you know, again, like I said, I wasn't planning on getting on this soapbox. Kind of segued into it. But, you know, do it for you. Do it for you first. They say, write for an audience of one. Price it for an audience of one. Just saying. There's that whole thing, and I mean, this is me coming from a 30 some odd year sales background. about perceived value. If you're charging 99 cents for a standalone book, people are more likely to subconsciously think that it's not a good book. You don't see Stephen King or Nora Roberts or people like that charging 99 cents for a standalone book. You just don't. Perceived value. You know, who's that author that you will pick up anything they write? Right? Anything they write. And because you know that their stuff is good. So if you don't have a lot of books out there and you haven't built a fan base yet, you should price your books as if you do. Because it's, yes, Jess, Sarah, this is it. I mean, Sarah has the first 3 free in her Shadow Demons series, which is at 11 books right now with 1 more to come. But Sarah's doing that. That's how she reels in new readers. The guy that runs the company that I have my websites on, he refers to it as getting them on the drug, right? You get them into your world with that first book or those first couple of books, and then they're going to go buy the rest of them. But that's a series. I'm talking about a standalone, right? Christine Pope. Yeah. Yep. Christine Pope. The lady that wrote, now she didn't do this because this was way back in the day when, you know, that you couldn't order books online. You had to go to the bookstore. It was the lady that wrote Clan of the Cave Bear series. She finished that series, I don't know, like a decade ago. But it took her, between the second to the last and the last book, there was like 8 or 9 years between those 2 books. But when that last book came out, I practically ran to the bookstore. It didn't matter, right? I cannot wait for Disappearance of Vanessa Shaw. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. I'm just glad she's taking her time with it. I'm glad she's taking her time with it because it's just going to be better, right? It's just going to be better. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about our writing. So please feel free to chime in. Let me know how you're doing with your writing. I am not doing so good. So I was going to do camp. I got very excited because I came across my cards for the book I was going to do during Nano. That just didn't happen because I wasn't in a good place mentally to really write a new book. And I really kind of wanted to finish my rough draft of Vengeful Soul, which will be coming out September. I think in September. I'd have to go look. But anyway, keep your ears on for that because it's going to be awesome. So I decided I was going to, do this book. I already had the prologue and had started the first chapter. It's for my pen name. I stumbled across the book trailer that I made for it back in November, and it got me all riled up. And I'm like, oh, I want to write this book. I want to write this book. So I sat down on day 1 and I wrote 870 words. And then I got interrupted and my flow got just gone. Haven't written a word since. Not one. I'm not even joking. What's the date? 14th? I've gone 13 days into camp and I haven't written another word. 870 words. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, what the heck? Do I want to do this book? Yeah, I do. But do I want to get Vengeful Soul up on Ream so that people can, my subscribers can read it, so that I can get it off to Jenna so that I can actually publish it. Do I want to do that? Yes, I do. So my plan is to block up my time where I will spend when on the days that I write, because I can't write every day. I'm trying to launch Scroll and Scribe, and I have to spend the bulk of my time. I'm spending, last week, I did a 65-hour week, and that wasn't even including things like this, like my live streams. That was just working on Scroll and Scribe, 65-hour week. Normally, I would put in about 45, 50 hours. Last week, it was because of the getting the business plan finished. But on the days that, yes, Kay, but it won't happen again. That was the push to get the business plan finished, right? So that I could get it off my plate so that I could go back to writing. So don't start. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much for caring enough to give me grief over that. So on the days that I write, like this weekend coming, we have, I'm too tired to gripe about self-care today. Oh, Jess. So we have virtual writing retreat coming up, and I will spend most of that weekend writing. I'll get all of my Scroll and Scribe stuff done before Friday. So I will split up between new words and edits. That's the plan, that I am going to split even time between new words on this new project and edits. This project will go up on Ream only. All of my pen name stuff, I have pulled down everywhere. You can't purchase it anymore. And everything that I write for my pen name is now only on Ream. We'll see if that works. I was getting tons of downloads off of the free books. So I have the first 3 in the series. It is a 9, 10, 11 short stories. And when I say short stories, I'm talking 7,000 to 10,000 words. So the first 3 in the series were free. And then the next 2, because every season was 6. So the next 3 were 99 cents. And then they went up to $1.99 for seasons 2 and 3. I was getting just a ton of downloads of the free ones, obviously. I was getting some pull through, but it wasn't a lot. And it was all strangely coming off of Apple Books. Amazon, crickets. But of course, being gay erotica, I know I'm buried over there. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to pull everything down. And we'll put it over on Ream where, hopefully people are going to go for stuff like that. As opposed to trying to find it on some of the platforms that as soon as you have open door sex, or heaven forbid, open door gay sex, they bury you. And so we'll see what happens, right? But I'm content right now to kind of just plug away at that story if it's going to help to get me back into a writing habit. Now, Judy Jean, I believe she has a video now. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, on like project management and how to basically write 3 books at a time. Like where you've got one that's out to the editor, one that you're actively writing on, and one that you're plotting or something like that. I haven't seen it. I know we were talking about it. Jess, okay, Kay says she does. Okay. You guys need to pop over there and check out that video. I'm hoping to have her come in and teach that to the members of Scroll and Scribe. She does a whole series on project management. Okay, perfect. See, that's her jam. That is her jam, because that's what she's done her whole life. That is her jam. And she's good at it. So if you haven't seen those videos, pop on over there. Kay, can you grab a link to her YouTube channel and pop it in the chat for me, please? I don't have it in front of me, which I probably should. But yeah, so if doing this story this way kind of like gets me back into the habit of writing, because for me, it's not even about the flow, because my flow comes from these. My flow comes from these. When I know what I have to write, thank you, Kay. Thank you. Yeah, gang, go check her out. She's got some awesome stuff up there. But when I know what I have to write, when I have spent the time to plot, and when I have my scene cards in front of me, it's not really about the flow. So when I got interrupted that day and lost my flow, it was really kind of just an excuse. We talked about excuses on Tough Love Tuesday. And that's what kind of spawned that talk on Tough Love Tuesday, because I'm like, this is me. This is me making excuses to not write, because it's more comfortable for me right now to work on Scroll and Scribe, because I'm going to be flat up honest and transparent with you guys, as I always am. When I'm not working on Scroll and Scribe, I am anxiety up to here. I wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm rolling out of bed. He's looking at me like I've lost my mind, and I'm stepping right down to my desk. And I'm like, holy moly, this is not good. This is not good. Where's my passion for writing? I am an author first. Not that I don't love my coaching, because, oh my God, I love my coaching. I have the best clients in the world. I have clients that aren't afraid to do the work. That was the thing I didn't like about my other coaching business I had in the other province. People would pay me thousands of dollars and then expect me to give them some kind of a magic pill, and they weren't willing to do the work that they needed to do to get to where they needed to be. But I work with authors now. I work with people who know what it's like to put your nose to the freaking grindstone and get something done. And I love working with you guys. I love it. And I'm living the dream up in here that I get to do this full time now. But I'm not writing. And I get cranky. When I don't write for a while, I get cranky. And I'm cranky right now. I'm not sleeping well. I thought it was because of this whole thing of the business plan. I thought it was like, oh my God, like I'm just having all this anxiety because, the business plan, and I'm not going to, so, it's so much hinges on this. I mean, when I'm saying that I'm going after a small business loan, I'm talking like it's this flipping big, this loan I want, compared to the guy down the road who's going after the same, lender that I am that's opening a restaurant. I'm talking about a few $1,000s for some new equipment and, a divider, so that, I know y'all love looking at Ziggy, but let's try to be a little professional here, right? It's nuts. It's nuts that I'm having all of this anxiety. And I think a lot of it is attached to my lack of putting words on the page. I really, really do. Because I am happiest when I'm writing. 870 words in 15 days. And those are the only 870 words I've written all year. All year. We're in April. That's a crap word count, y'all. Very crappy word count. This is what I have done to myself. I was like, I'm in the season of my life where I need, you know how Sarah says sometimes you're in seasons? I can't do seasons. I have to write. And that was playing in my head. Now, here's a really great example of how, some people, even the people you admire the most, because Sarah is like, for me, she's like way up here with like Amber and Mel Robbins, and like she's way up here for me in the people that I admire. but that don't work for me. This is the perfect example of making it work for you. And I wasn't making it work for me. I'm like, holy crap. I'm in a season of my life. I don't do seasons. Seasons are for my short stories, right? Which I'm not writing. And now I'm cranky, So I think this is the thing. And I think a lot of us, and I mean, if that's the thing, like Macaroni Magpie was saying, you tend to go all in. You tend to go all in, and there's never a balance. I teach a class on that. Just saying. Some of you in here have taken that class. He's a very professional kitty. Yes, he is. See, been setting up a website, and it's more about community than writing, right? But writing is what I do. This is it. I am an author first, right? I'm an author first. What do we do to ourselves? Why do we do this? Because we think we should go all in. I mean, okay, yes, this business, it's not a course, but this business thing that I was involved in, still am, will be until November, has requirements because there's funding attached to it. They give me so much money every month, and I have to report back to them the things I've done. I have to spend a minimum of 35 hours a week in my business, working on my business, either in my business or with clients or, whatever. Because I was on EI. I'm still on EI, employment insurance. So here in Canada, if you lose your job, and I lost my job to a very good reason, I actually quit, but I was still able to get employment insurance because it was an unsafe work environment. And I was able to prove that. And then I was able to get into this program where they continue to pay your EI for 40 weeks after your EI is over and done. So they have requirements, and they have things that you have to do. I had to go take all of those courses that the not-for-profit gave, which was amazing, by the way. I have to put in these hours. I have to report once a month. I have to send a report, and I have like this whole thing I have to fill out. But at the same time, because of that, my brain went, you need to go all in. Your writing is going to have to go on pause until November, until the end of November. But I got books to write. I wanted to release at least 2 books this year. I've got a book finished. I've got the draft finished. I just need to do my last final little edits on it before I send it off to Jenna. I've already started book 2. I've got, 30-some thousand words into book 2 already. I wanted to release that one this year too. So what am I doing? What am I doing to myself? Why am I going all in? You know what? The thing is that I'm going to hit that point with Scroll Scribe on July the 1st when that launches and we start having our weekly, monthly, quarterly cool stuff happening. That then becomes recurring tasks. That's already all mapped out. Okay. Here's our weekly workshops. We do 6 of them. And then we start back at the beginning and we're rolling through it again. All of that, once my systems are in place and it launches, I just basically have to show up for it. So then what? Then I'm struggling because it's July to write again because I've been out of it for so flipping long. I can't let that happen. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm that person that if I don't do something for a long period of time, it's so hard to get back into it. I don't want to be a year without putting words on the page. I don't want that to happen. I promised you all books, right? I promised y'all the hellscape, and I want to deliver on that. And it is so freaking hard, Kate. Okay, sorry, Kate. I just had the back of my head about my nephew's fiance. Her name is Kate, but I need to get back into a writing habit, and I really think that this what I'm writing here for my pen name is going to be a novella. So I have one novella already in the Chance Encounter series, and this will be another. And my novellas tend to run about 40,000 words. 40,000 words. I think his own mail might have been 32 by the time I was done with edits. But oh my God. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. It takes you at least half the amount of time to get back into the habit. So that's actually what the challenge, Mel's challenge is going to be on Mondays. We're going to be talking about making habits. All right. So get ready for that one, you guys. Get ready for that one, because it's, if you have to take, see, Jess, I know that you had to take some time off, and you're trying to get back in the groove, right? It's hard. Oh my God, it's so hard, you guys. But this is the thing. What do? You start showing up for your story. Go back and watch Sarah's couple of videos about where she talks about how she showed up for her story for Disappearance of Vanessa Shaw every morning. Once the kids were off to school, she was sitting at her desk. Now, she didn't write every day. She got online with some friends and did bodily doubling, and she was working in her story journal, or maybe she was doing an edit or something like that. She didn't write every day, but she showed up for her story every day. And I think that is what that was the magical switch for her. And I think it will be for me too. If you take that pressure off of, I need to sit down and I have to get 1,000 words in. I have to get 1,000 words today. Right? The guy that wrote, I don't know when, just drew a blank. The guy that wrote Coraline. Yeah, they wrote Coraline. Who was that? Somebody tell me. I'm drawing a blank. Menopause brain. He wrote that book 50 words a day. 50. He took the pressure off. So if you take the pressure off and you say, Neil Gaiman. Thank you, Jess. Or Heather. Sorry. If you take the pressure off, you release the expectation of, I gotta get 1,000 words today. I gotta get 1,000 words today. I need to show up for my story today. Now, so long as you don't use that as an excuse of, all I need to do here is sit here and read what I already wrote, because that's not going to get you anywhere, obviously. But in the beginning, I have to show up for my story today. I promised myself 2 hours that I'm going to show up for this story. I promised myself 2 hours that I'm going to show up for edits on Vengeful Soul. 2 hours of showing up for the Gentleman's Club. 2 hours. Start making that habit, right? This is, right? I flipping love Mr. King. I love everything he stands for as an author. Love him. 2K a day. 2K a day. Do you know that he threw out his first draft of Carrie? Threw it out. I suck. What am I doing? I can't write this book. I suck. His wife, Tabitha, dug it out of the trash, read it, and went, Steve, this is good. Your problem is you're not a woman. I'll help you with that. Carrie the ultimate book of female rage ever to be published. He threw it out because he thought he sucked. He still calls himself a noob. I love him. I love him. Right? You need 12. See, this is what I did to myself. 1,200 words a day. How am I going to write 1,200 words a day when I got to get this business plan finished? Right? So the big push to take it off my plate. Now, show up for your story, Sherry. Tomorrow, if you get 10 words, that's a win because you showed up for your story. This is different. This is different because one is drudgery. Let's be honest. It's hard to get excited by a number unless, of course, it's like I made, $5 million off of my book. It's hard to get excited about a number like 1,200. Okay, I need to get 1,200 words. Crap, I got to get 1,200 words today. I get to show up for my story today. I get to work in my story. I get to be in that magic system. I get to live in that world. I get to hang out with my characters. I get to be there for the story. It's like the difference between going to work for somebody else and going for coffee with your friends. Right? Right? I work a minimum of 2 hours a day now, unless there's no live sprints. There you go. And see, then you take a night off. That's good. That kills me. It kills me to think that we could not have had that book in our lives. And we love him. Yes, there's your mind shift. It's a change of attitude from I have to I get to. Right? And it works. I can tell you this as a coach. When you can change your state of mind from, because it's like going to work. One's like going to work and one's like going to play. You get to show up for your story. You get to hang out with your characters. I love this. And there is that line though. Be really super careful because there is that line. I know there is for me that I have to really watch it where it's just, I'm not just reading over what I already wrote over and over and over again. Right? You know what I'm talking about. Writing is like play for a lot of us, Rita. It really, truly is. And what a great job to have. What a great job to have. It's like when I'm getting ready to go meet with a coaching client, I don't think of that as work. Yes, it is work. Because what a lot of people see is the 45 minutes to an hour that I spend with them. But what they don't see is all of the behind the scenes stuff that I'm doing. But for me, not only is it a privilege to get to help somebody, but it's like I have the privilege of serving them. I get to do that. Because of all of the time that I spent in the drudgery, not drudgery, but you know what I mean, of the education, of getting certified, of 2.5 years of a psychology degree. I get to take that knowledge that I have, and instead of working as a child and youth care worker, but hats off, because I did work as a child and youth care worker for a while, and it is hard. But I get to take that knowledge and translate it over into working with my clients that I work with now. And it's fun. It's fun. This is the problem. When we get bogged down by the numbers, when we get bogged down by, I have to make that word count. So this is why I haven't really participated in the last couple of nanos, like in November, because I find it takes the fun out of writing when it's like, I got to get 50,000 words this month. And then if you don't get it, do you beat yourself up? Because I have. And it's not where we want to be. This is not why we became authors and writers in the first place. We became writers to tell stories. And telling stories is fun. Super fun. We get to transport other people to that world that we see inside of our own skulls. And you know what? That is one heck of a talent to have, because not everybody can do it. Not everybody can do it. Just say I quit last year because it was not helping my mental health. It's not always a motivation. It's not always a motivation. I have a friend, and you guys have heard me talk about Jay. He has been doing Nano for, I think this past year was his 11th or 12th year. And he has participated every single year, no matter what else is going on in his life. And he has done it every single year. He could be working a full-time job. Last year, he was working 3 jobs and still got these 50,000 words in by like the 21st of the month, because for him, that's fun. He's competitive, so that's fun. Me, not so much. I like the community of it. I love the events that we do. But do I want to push myself for the numbers? For what? 50% off Scrivener? I already have Scrivener. Right? For the bragging rights? Bragging rights are nothing when your like brain is just soggy. Right? So, the world desperately yes, the world does. And I'm talking about actual real entertainment, not watching like certain so-called celebrities turned presidents imploding, as that can be sometimes. But we are the ones that provide the wholesome entertainment to society right now. This world needs your stories. They need my stories. I look at my writing as being extremely important, because when I was young, I didn't have stories about people like me. There were no books or stories about people like me, because they were all still in the closet. They were all still hiding. They were all still getting their butts kicked if they even so much as looked the other way, right? I need to write these stories so that young queer kids or young queer adults or old queer adults can read them and feel represented. And I can't do that if I don't put words on the page. Big vicious circle, right? Well, I mean, I can't really say that my pen name stuff is what you would call wholesome, but still, having said that, yeah. What's a melism? What? Your brain is mush? Is that what you're talking about, Karen? With both online and offline communities, yours without. See, this is it. This is it. It's about the community. God, I say a lot of things. I say a lot of things. Don't always remember them because, menopause brain. But the thing of it is, gang, it's all about, I'm sorry if you can hear the pitter patter of feet over my head, because these people are still here. They were supposed to have moved out like almost a week ago, and they haven't. They're very loud. I think it comes down to, for me personally, is going to be forming the habit again. And the way to do that is to show up for my story. Okay, no, I don't. This mic can often pick up mom in her bedroom with like 3 doors and 8 walls between us. Hear her sneezing. So I think it's going to be the habit, getting back in the habit of blocking off that time. It's not going to happen every day. It's not. I've already come to that conclusion. I cannot have a daily writing habit right now. That's my season. But that's okay, because I also know that that's not permanent. It's only until I launch this business, and then I can get back into a daily writing habit, and that's great. So in the meantime, I need to get back into my rituals and my routines, because remember back when forever ago when I was like working for Windstorm, and I had that ritual at the end of the business day where I would put away my work stuff and take out my creative stuff. I even used different pens. I used just cheap Bic clicky pens for, taking notes during meetings. But then I had my really nice, Pentel pens that I used for my writing. I would light a different scented candle. The washi tape would come out. The playlist would be different. Something like that was huge. So now I have to figure out what's going to work for me again. And that's kind of a fun thing to do for me, is I have to figure out, because I spend most of my time in this space right now, and I have to have that, again, that transition time, I will probably do something like make a new playlist, or, in the mornings, we have a very specific routine here, and Ziggy gets his music in the mornings. I know, you guys. Ziggy is kind of addicted to, it's called Audiophile, Phile, on YouTube. And it's like 6 different videos on that channel with like, kind of cartoony cats, but it's the same music. And it's lo-fi, and he loves it. It's especially good if I'm trying to get work done and he's like in my face and he wants like to be crawling all over me. I will put that on and he will just settle right down on the bed to listen to it. So like I need to have that transition into my writing time again. So that's something I will probably be working on during the virtual writing retreat. I'm so super excited for virtual writing retreat this month. And I think it's because I'm going to be using it to actually do mostly writing tasks. I think I have like one block of time, which is like maybe an hour and a half, where I'm going to be working on Scroll Scribe stuff. But the rest of it, of that 3 days, is all writing tasks. And I'm so excited. Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people always say like, you should not have a computer in your room. You shouldn't have a TV in your room, blah, blah, blah. But for me, I need to do this. I need to have the space where I can come in and shut the door. And if mom is in a meeting, I'm not going to get, interrupted or whatever. Because, she works from home too. So I think that, yeah, I'm in my room at my computer goofing off, but you're not. So you might want to revisit, Jess, I gave out a worksheet forever ago about rituals, right? Like how to put together your own writing ritual. Let me know if you don't have that, and I will send you a link, because I think that would be super helpful. And all y'all, if people are watching on the replay or whatever, hit me on Facebook if you want to call. It's on my Ko-fi. So if you go back to my last video, there's a link to my my link tree. And if you hit Ko-fi, and it's a free thing you can download. It's a hard boundary for me. I play games and work on my computer. This is it. It's, okay, there's things that you can do. It's, it's like a trigger, right? It's like a trigger. It's a thing that switches your brain from work mode to play mode or back, or however you need to do it. But yeah, absolutely DM me. It was not part of the workshop. It came about because of the workshop, but it is on my Ko-fi page. It's there for free. You can download it. And if you can't find it, just message me or leave a comment down below here. And I'll try to get it to you. And that goes for everybody. But this was great, gang. I appreciate you guys showing up and being interested in what I've got going on, or in my case right now, what I don't have going on. And my hot chocolate is cold, and that's not a good thing. My sunroom is my writing space. Oh, see, that was another reason why I wanted to move into my bedroom, because this is the only room in our apartment that gets any natural light. Because we're on the wrong side of the building. We're on the shade side of the building, right? So I love this. But yes, see, this is where you were getting your grad work done. But I don't like working at the kitchen table either. I don't. It's not comfortable because that kitchen table was built for short people. Whoa, what did I just do? I'm still here. All right. Yes, Tracy's sprints are starting. So I'm going to let you all go jump into her sprints. I'm going to go make myself some supper. Thank you all for being here. I love you to bits. Keep your eye on, I'm a short person. I am a little too tall for most of these things. Hit up my other YouTube channel for Mel's challenge coming up tomorrow afternoon. And I will see you all on the weekend for sure. For sure. All right. I love you to bits. Thanks for being here. We'll talk soon.